Hello everyone, Ted the Old Star Wars Nerd here, and today on Star Wars Legends, I am going to talk about the book titled Knights of the Old Republic Deceived. Anyway, this will be my sixth review video for me, and they just seem to keep getting better. I really enjoyed this one. This one took me a little while to get through. Had to restart it a few times because sometimes when I'm listening to the books, my mind just kind of wanders away and I start thinking about many other things. Before I know it, I'm halfway through the book and I don't remember anything because usually I'll listen to the book while I'm driving around and something will happen and I'll start thinking about something else for a while and I'll get home and I don't remember half of it. So I just rewind it and start over. Or not start over, but go again. So this book seems to occur during the middle of the last book. It seems to align with the time that Revan was imprisoned. It's not quite exactly, but it's thereabouts. So it was riding through that time frame. Characters in this book, for the bad guys, there is Darth Malgus, Vrath Zizor, and a organization called the Exchange, which is, I guess, kind of like, the Hutts would be that we know of in the modern era. And the good guys, there's Z-Man, also known as Zirid Kor, a Jedi Knight named Erin Lanier, and her Jedi Master Vin Zalo. You open up the book, or this says it's in the book flap, I guess. Our time has come. For 300 years we prepared. We grew stronger while you rested in your cradle of power, believing your people were safe and protected. You were trusted to lead the Republic, but you were deceived, as our powers of the dark side have blinded you. You were deceived, and now your Republic shall fall. And from the inside flap, I guess this might be the back cover flap. This is what it says in there. The second novel, set in the Old Republic era and based on the massively multiplayer online Star Wars The Old Republic, ramps up the action and brings readers face to face for the first time with a Sith warrior rival to the most sinister of the Order's Dark Lords, Darth Malgus, the mysterious, masked Sith of the wildly popular Deceived, Hope, and also Return game trailers. Darth Malgus brought down the Jedi Temple on Coruscant in a brutal assault that shocked the galaxy. But if war crowned him the darkest of the Sith heroes, peace would transform him into something far more heinous. Something Malgus would never want to be, but cannot stop any more than he can stop the rogue Jedi fast approaching. Her name is Erin Lanier, and the lone knight that Malgus cut down in the fierce battle for the Jedi Temple was her master. And now she's going to find out what happened to him, even if it means breaking every rule in the book. Okay, so that's what the book cover says if you look into it. Yeah, this book is set, again, like 4,000 years before what we know of as the Battle of Yavin that was displayed in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And yeah, it's got part of the Revan story, which I'm really enjoying. Revan should be, I believe, what Disney Star Wars should go to next. They should do some sort of series on Revan. That would be so awesome. There's so many different parts of Revan's story that I'm finding out of, and I'm not going to spoil anything. I've been spoiled a little bit by reading around and doing my research, but Revan's a badass. He comes back and goes and comes back and goes. So he's got a long history ahead of him still, as far as what I can see. Anyway, but we'll see about that, how it goes. All right, so the summary of this book, to sum it all up, give the story of it in a quick tidbit. The novel begins with Darth Malgus leading the attack on the Jedi Temple as it precedes the sacking of Coruscant. During the Jedi-Sith battle in the temple, Malgus ends up in a fight against Jedi Master Vin Zalo, and it ends with Malgus killing Zalo by impaling him on his lightsaber. Soon, all the Jedi are killed and the Sith Empire begins its attack on Coruscant. The Jedi Temple is then destroyed, burying all the dead in it. Malgus expects a full-scale bombardment on Coruscant, but what he learns from Darth Angral brings much contempt and disgust. The Empire was making a peace treaty with the Galactic Republic. Throughout the day, he secretly begins to suspect that his superiors, including the Sith Emperor, have brought doom upon the Empire by bringing about peace. Only through conflict can one's understanding of the Force be achieved, and Malgus firmly believes this. On Alderaan, where the Jedi and Sith are trying to work out the peace treaty, the Jedi delegation sense through the Force the horrors committed by the Sith on Coruscant. Despite this, or rather because of it, as the Sith are using the capture of Coruscant as leverage in the peace talks, the negotiations continue, much to the chagrin of Jedi Knight Erin Lanier, who had sensed her master Zalo's death in the Force. Erin then secretly turns her back on the Jedi Order to go to Coruscant, find out who killed Zalo, and kill the murderer. To get to the recently captured Coruscant, however, she enlists the help of former Republic soldier, now spice runner, Zirid Kor. Zirid, meanwhile, also needs to get to Coruscant in order to deliver a shipment of Aang spice on time for a criminal organization called the Exchange. Unfortunately for Zirid, he is spied upon by the likes of former Imperial sniper Vrath Zizor, who is working for the Hutts, who are rivals of the Exchange. Knowing that the Zirid is supposed to deliver the Aang spice to Coruscant, Vrath arrives to Coruscant ahead of time from Erin and Zirid to tell Darth Malgus, now overseer of the Imperial blockade, of Erin and Zirid's arrival on Coruscant. Malgus heeds Vrath's provided information, and by the time Erin and Zirid arrive, Zirid's ship, the Fat Man, is attacked by the Sith fleet. It manages to get to Coruscant, but it is soon blown out of the sky. Erin and Zirid survive thanks to Erin's use of the Force, and they land relatively safely to Coruscant's surface. Now, I'm going to talk about this later. I want to talk about how they landed. Though Zirid failed to deliver his shipment of Aang spice, he still agrees to help Erin in her investigation as to who killed Zalo. They travel underground through the works and follow the late Zalo's astromech droid companion T-701 to get to the underground recordings of the temple by the time of the attack. Erin learns that it was Malgus who killed Zalo and vows to avenge her master. Zirid, meanwhile, wishes to find a spacecraft that can get him back to his home planet of Volta so he can get to his daughter, Era Yumes, before the Exchange reach her. Since the Exchange could very well kill Era and her aunt Natalia because of Zirid's debts to them, and because Vrath Zizor learned of Zirid's family by spying on him, Era and Natalia could very well be in danger. Soon, as Erin returns to the destroyed Jedi Temple, she confronts Darth Malgus, who had been waiting for her since he learned that she was looking for him in vengeance for Master Zalo's death. Their fight is cut short before a clear winner can be determined when Zirid arrives to stop Erin, as killing Malgus in vengeance will lead Erin down a dark path. Erin only agrees so that she can get a greater vengeance on Malgus by targeting his Twi'lek lover, Elena Daru, so that he will know the pain that Erin suffered when Master Zalo died. Both Erin and Zirid find their respective goals at a spaceport, where Erin prepares to kill Elena, but finds that killing her would disgrace everything that Master Zalo taught her. She again confronts Malgus just as Zirid leaves with a ship of his own, which just so happens to be the ship owned by Vrath Zizor. Zirid and Vrath get into a fight in the ship's cargo hold, and Zirid wins the fight by beating Vrath to a bloody pulp. After Zirid takes over the ship, the Imperial blockade allows him to leave under Malgus's permission after Erin threatened to kill Elena if he didn't let Zirid go. Afterward, Zirid kills Vrath by shoving him out the ship's airlock so that he wouldn't be able to tell the Exchange or anyone else about Ara and Natalia's relation to Zirid. Malgus defeats Erin in their second fight, but instead of killing her, he allows her to leave Coruscant after she spared Elena's life. Malgus then kills Elena after confessing his love to her, seeing her as a weakness to himself that he can no longer afford to worry himself over. In the aftermath, a peace treaty is signed between the Republic and the Empire, and the latter disbands its occupation of Coruscant. In his disappointment of how peace will reign throughout the galaxy as a result, Malgus intends to take over the Empire himself, starting by killing his political rival, Lord Adris. Zirid, meanwhile, is able to buy a farm and prosthetic legs for his daughter Ara, who lives with him now, while Natalia has a place of her own. Eren eventually finds Zirid, telling him that she quit the Jedi Order so that she can be with him. Well, that was really cool. Great book, of course, as always. Like I said before, I listen to the audiobook versions, and the production quality of them is just usually outstanding. There will either be a full voice of actors, or at least one good narrator that can do voices. If you've seen my other videos where I read the comic books, you know about all I can do is Southern guy and sometimes higher pitched Southern guy. So anyway, one thing I started thinking about while listening to this book, and I talked about how Coruscant was described. The impression I always got of Coruscant was that it was a planet-wide city covering everything. Everything was covered by city, the whole planet. There wasn't ground anywhere. You could not get to the actual dirt. It was everything was covered. The highest levels was where all the city and people, the good people were, and the government was run. And the lower levels were the underworld, where all the crime and people were. You see a little bit of it in episode 2, but and that's what I always got the impression of. So sitting there listening to this book, and it talks about how they're falling down to Coruscant from the air, and she's cushioning the blow, and it's made it sound like it was just an open area of ground, like a park or something that they came into. But I could be misremembering. Like I said, I listen to audiobook versions, and I'm an old man. Sometimes I don't quite catch everything. So anyway, I really like Zirid as a character. As a dad, I could definitely see myself getting into some bad situations in order to help my daughter. Eren was good too, very likable, very fun, great Jedi. If I was to guess though, wouldn't see her staying with Zirid for too long. She seems like, she's a Jedi, so things don't ever really quiet down for them, and they can't stay in place for too long. It's just usually adventure finds them. At least that seems to be the trope for most Jedi. Then we have Darth Malgus. Darth Malgus. Very, very, very cool. Very good bad guy. Very good bad guy, yeah. He's very powerful Sith. But yet we also get to see, a softer side of him with Alina. How he protects her and is very protective of her. And then with her death, after he kills her, it'd be interesting to see what else happens with him. How he grows and becomes eviler, I guess. How he hardens himself. I have no idea if he's in any further books, like I say, but if he is, looking forward to it. Other than that, yeah, it was a great book. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying this series, and I hope maybe you can check in on my comic book series where I'm reading those. Those are really enjoyable too. It's the beginnings of the Jedi. It's Dawn of the Jedi. It is 30,000 years before all this stuff happens. So it's way, way, way back in the beginning. It still leaves a little mystery to the beginning, because where do these Thor yo things come from? I don't know. Anyway, so I think I'll do it for this time. If you have something you'd like to discuss, please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and if you'd like to be notified when I put out new videos, click that bell button, and it'll let you know whenever I put something out. Thanks, I really appreciate you watching this video. I'm Ted, the old Star Wars nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take care.